Well, howdy, folks, and welcome to the bunker. This is Buck Buckner from In the Bunker, and I'm completely freaked out. And I think you know why I'm freaked out. It's the silence. It freaks me out. Specifically, I'm talking the silent majority, or the fringe middle. Why are they so silent? What are they covering up? You know, so many things are covering up. Bigfoot, for example. Where's the evidence? So many sightings upon sighting. And think about it, folks. If just one out of every 100 eyewitness accounts of Bigfoot is real, then Bigfoot exists. Well, but where is the evidence? And we know it's so many more than that. Let's say it's 90 out of 100 of the sightings are correct. And I know what you're thinking, Buck. Why didn't you just say 9 out of 10? Well, because there's just so many eyewitness sightings pouring in. I just have a big stack here, and I'm going through them, and it's phenomenal. It's truly phenomenal, and it has me freaked out because where's the evidence? Where's the silent majority? Where are they hiding this Bigfoot? And you have to free Bigfoot, and the Bigfoot deserves to be out there drinking at the stream. And the first thing I want to do is interview the Bigfoot. And I wouldn't interview him wherever they're hiding him. No, I would go out to the stream. I would set up a table by the stream. I would pour a nice glass of water for Bigfoot, and by pour, I mean I would get a rather large carafe, and that's a sophisticated term for a pitcher. And I would pour him a glass, and we would have a fascinating discussion. And, well, I'm a little less freaked out today, to be honest, because I have a special guest in the bunker. It's Candidate Burt Silver. Candidate Burt Silver is a candidate. I've voted for him multiple times. And by multiple times, I don't mean I voted for him all at once. That's not what I'm saying. Hey, well, actually, Buck, if I can interrupt, we can arrange that. But let's talk about that after the show, okay? Let's kind of keep that on the lowdown. Well, welcome, Bert. That's about as good an introduction as anywhere. It's so what a privilege it is to have you at the bunker, and I do apologize for having to blindfold you. It's vital that nobody knows where the bunker is. So I do appreciate that you met me at an undisclosed location, and I put a blindfold on you and turned you around multiple times and led you to the bunker. No, that's not a big deal, you know. In the smoky boiler room, that happens a lot of times too, you know. I mean, games, and they're so top secret. I just have to kind of meet by an alley. They pick me up in a car, usually a nice car, you know. So it has a lot of confidence, and we go to somewhere. I don't even know where these places are, you know. They just kind of pick you up and they take you there in the smoky boiler room. So it didn't really bother you, know. You blindfolded me, so it's good to be here in the bunker, and I'm glad to be talking, you know, to you. Well, thank you, Bert, for your understanding. And I do have the auxiliary fans running, so there won't be an accumulation of fumes. I've had that in the past where when the auxiliary fumes in my bunker are not working, it has caused a dangerous accumulation of fumes, and I've at times started talking multiple tongues. And when I went to the doctor, well, I didn't go to the doctor. I looked at the internet. On the internet, it said that I was probably getting carbon monoxide poisoning or something, some gas accumulation. So I have the auxiliary fans running, you know, and on a backup generator if need be. So no, don't worry about that. You know, I'm used to working in areas where there's lots of fumes. Smoky boiler room. There's a lot of smoking. You know, there's no non-smoking area in the smoking boiler room. You know, they want you, you know, they kind of encourage you to smoke. Everybody's smoking, and if you're not smoking, they don't care if you're smoking. It's just kind of part of the main vibe in the smoky boiler room. And, you know, sometimes it's just how you kind of keep your, you know, I think if I were playing cards in the smoky boiler room and there was no smoke in there, it wouldn't be the same, and my luck would change. And that would affect the voters, because that's how I pay for all my campaign ads, is my earnings at the smoky boiler room. Well, that's fascinating, Burt. I've always been intrigued by your ability to get on top of issues. A lot of vexing issues that other candidates are backpedaling and never quite getting a grasp of, but you're able to, in the smoky boiler room, as it were, using unconventional methods, really get to the heart of a matter. And I do commend you for using your earnings for such a worthy cause, because having you in office is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And I don't want to get into too much shop talk here, because if I get into too much, and you and I could have the most political talk, talking about politics, and well, the list goes on, and it would be just filled of shop talk, but we would lose many of my listeners, because my listeners are a general audience. So maybe this might be a good time for you to just talk about some of the new things that you're doing and are up to. Yeah, well, not much changes with Burt Silver, Smoky boiler room, I kind of prep for the smoky boiler room, and I get there, and that's when it all happens. I could run through a list of things right now, but it wouldn't be interesting, because I get my list really going when I'm in the smoky boiler room, and that's when I get my opponents down, and that's when they're kind of start to capitulate to me. They're like, Burt, no more, don't take any more of our chips. Yeah, well, here's a concession and another concession. So I'm just not winning, the chips. I'm kind of making concessions and bargaining. That banter around the card table. I kind of liken it to a campfire. You ever into a campfire and you just kind of start talking about all them important things, and you kind of get to the bottom and the heart of it, and then before you know it, you kind of, it's a, you look up and it's kind of brightening in the east, and it's like it's a new dawn. And that's what it's like, Buck. It's a new dawn with Burt Silver, because I stayed up all night to see it. And I head to the all-night diner, and I strap on a feed bag, and I get a cup of coffees, and then I see some of my people come up to me, and they shake my hand, and they say, Burt Silver, you're up early in the morning. Nobody gets up earlier in the morning than Burt Silver working for us. You're a man of the people. And I don't correct them, because people are going to believe what they're going to believe. But what they know is Burt is results oriented, and I get the job done. Smoky boiler room, yes. If we ban all the smoky boiler rooms, you're not going to have the same Burt. That's why it's important to keep the smoky boiler rooms preserved and nobody really knowing where they are. That's the other thing. You don't want a map. We don't need a map of the smoky boiler rooms. Well, Burt, I know exactly where you're coming from, because I don't want anyone knowing where my bunker is. And that would freak me out if people knew where my bunker is, and nobody does. It's so hidden, and that's why I had to blindfold you, and it was vitally important, and I do appreciate you understand that. And when we do leave, I will put a blindfold over your head, and we will take the long route. And don't be surprised if, at times you feel water on your feet. That's just because we're crossing the river. And we recently got some rain, so it could be, I have some ropes set up, so we should be safe. We should be safe, and we'll get you back. Well, yeah, as long as I'm back in time, for the smoky boiler room, that's fine. That's fine. I, have another match tonight, and, that's just a couple hours away. Well, thank you so much, Burt, for being here, Burt, calling you myself. That's what happens in the interview when you're talking to someone who you sync up with. Our views are so similar. And I think of the good work you do and the good work I do from the bunker. And it's just so good to have you here. Thank you, Burt. Candidate Burt Silver, folks. What an honor to have him in the bunker. And we're going to have to go to a campfire break. Thank you, Burt. Yeah, no problem. No problem, Buck. I really appreciate your show, and I've enjoyed it over the years. Been listening to it. Well, thank you, Burt. That's wow. To know that Burt Silver's listening to my radio program. What the honor of honors. I don't need any plaque on my wall. I don't have any plaque on my walls, for one. But you don't need a plaque on your wall when you get a compliment like that. That's just something you have with you for all time. Burt Silver listening to Buck Buckner. And we'll be right back after this campfire break.